The honourable member for Regina-Qu'Appelle.
Mr. Speaker, 8 years of Liberal deficits, waste and corruption have driven inflation to record highs, and nowhere is that more obvious than in the grocery aisle. Now, the Prime Minister likes to try to blame everyone else, but even the Liberals are now admitting that inflation is caused by domestic factors. One of those factors is the carbon tax. It makes everything farmers use to grow their crops more expensive, and those costs get passed on to consumers. Now the government is going to triple that carbon tax. So why should Canadians believe anything Liberals say about addressing the cost of living crisis when they are deliberately making Canadians pay more for food?
The honourable parliamentary secretary.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And I appreciate the question because let's talk about the rising cost of food. Let's talk about what families are facing. Let's talk about families like mine. When I'm at the grocery store with my son Nitin and he's wanting a particular cereal, a particular type of dessert, and I talk to him about the rising cost of groceries, I also explain to him about what we're doing to help Canadians. And I tell him that we're targeting our...
If the honourable members ask a question, can you please give the honourable member answering it the courtesy of keeping silent? The honourable parliamentary secretary.
What I do is when I speak to my son, I explain to him about what we're doing at a targeted way to help Canadians that are struggling with the cost of those groceries, those expensive items as we walk down the aisle in those grocery stores. And I tell him we're targeting benefits, such as dental care benefits, such as affordability benefits.
Member for Regina-Qu'Appelle.
The worst part about their carbon tax is that they try to dress it up as an environment plan, but it's not working. They haven't hit a single target. You see, the Liberal plan was to drive up the cost of everything and hope that greenhouse gas emissions fell as a result. I can report to the minister that the first part of that plan, making everything more expensive, they nailed that. The second part, not so much. Now, the Canada Food Price Report is saying that food prices are going to go up again in 2023, as a typical farm could see their taxes with the tripling of the carbon tax hit $150,000 a year. And again, all of that gets passed on to the consumer. So why is this government making...
The honourable parliamentary secretary.
Madam Speaker, another important question, but there's also an important response. And the response is that when you're trying to target a pressing issue as pressing nationally and internationally as climate change, you need to take direct action. That's the kind of answers my children demand from me at the dinner table each and every night. What are you doing, Baba, to deal with the changing pollution, the changing temperatures? And what I say to them is that we're putting in place a price on pollution that affects people's behavior, that helps us make better decisions for our families and for our country. That's the kind of answers Canadians deserve.